Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that we've made it to another year. I wanted to share with you the 10 habits that I will be bringing with me into 2024 and the habits that I will be leaving behind. While it can be really helpful to set habits, it's even more important to build systems around how you're going to stick to these things. You don't want to make this list unrealistic, and you don't want this list to be things that you're not actually going to be able to stick to. Whatever you decide on this list, I know that you can do it, and I'm proud of you for setting these goals for yourself. But remember that there's never a bad time to set new goals. In fact, you could start this any time of the year. First, I'm going to start with the 10 habits that I'm going to be bringing with me into 2024. Number 1 is working out. My goal for 2024 is to implement some sort of workout every single day, whether that's just a 5 to 10 minute walk or whether it's a full Pilates workout. I found that I have often wanted to implement working out more into my schedule, but I never really had a system in place for how to do it. So I have made sure to include a specific time of day that I will be using to work out every single day. This goal might look different for everybody, and for some people they might find that it's too much for them to work out every single day of the week, 7 days a week. But for me, I feel like it is really crucial to work out 7 days a week. I find that when I skip a day on the weekends, even just for a rest day, I often have a really difficult time going back to it on Monday. I would rather take the time to work out, even just for 5 minutes every single day, to keep really consistent with that routine. This is the system that I found that works for me. And again, you have to build your own system for what works best for you. Number 2, drink enough water. We all know how important it is to stay hydrated. I found for myself that when I stay hydrated, I'm able to keep off unhealthy food cravings a little bit easier. I'm also in a better mood and have more energy. I am not, however, setting an exact amount of water that I need to drink per day, because I know that the amount of water that I drink is going to vary from day to day based on what I'm doing and how active I am that day. Number 3, vitamins daily. For me, I found that taking my vitamins every single day is a really important part of what makes me feel my best. When I don't take my vitamins every single day, I end up noticing the effects of it pretty quickly. Number 4, make more smoothies. Now, this one might seem a little bit silly to most people. I mean, why would I want to make more smoothies as part of my 10 habits that I'm taking with me into 2024? I love smoothies. It's as simple as that. I find that when I drink a smoothie in my workday, it just makes me feel happier. And I want to bring that kind of energy with me into 2024. So while I'm not requiring that I'm going to be drinking the same smoothie every single day or drinking a smoothie every single day, I am trying to incorporate more smoothies into my day. Number 5, consistent sleep routine. This one might seem like a no-brainer to a lot of you, but for me, I have found that I have to get a certain amount of sleep every single night. Between 7.5 and 8 hours per night is required for me to be my best self. I have noticed that even 30 minutes less sleep than that per night impacts my mental health and my emotional health so much. For me, sleep is a no-brainer, a requirement, and an essential part of every good day. I'm going to be keeping a consistent sleep routine of going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day. Of course, I know that's not always realistic when you're on a vacation or you have an event, and so I will be flexible with myself. However, for the most part, I want to stick to the same schedule every single night of going to sleep at 9 p.m. and waking up at 5 a.m. Number 6 is reading, especially at night. I have found reading to be really difficult throughout my life. In fact, I often told myself growing up that I hated reading and I never wanted to read anything. Well, I found out later on that I actually just enjoy nonfiction books. I especially want to implement this at night in order to help me fall asleep. I feel like this is really important to build some sort of wind down routine at night, where at night I'm reading to get myself ready for sleep and building that routine so that way my body knows to expect it each night. Number 7 is a skincare routine. I know that I'm not going to stick to a 12-step skincare routine in 2024, and that's okay. You don't have to have something complicated to be consistent with it. But I'm going to try to be consistent with my skincare morning and night to help my skin feel its best. Number 8 is cooking more and learning more about cooking. Now in 2023, I will admit that I did not do very much cooking, and the cooking that I did do was not very good. You can ask my husband, although he might tell you that it was good even if it wasn't. I often said that I wasn't good at cooking, and I let myself believe that for a very, very long time. In fact, my husband's always been really good at cooking, and so I often left the meals to him. But in 2024, I really want to push myself to become better at cooking. I want to develop better flavors and learn more about flavors and how they complement each other. I'm doing this by cooking dinner every single night, finding new recipes that I love, and finding new flavors that I love. Along with that, I really enjoy baking, and I want to try that a little bit more as well. Number 9 is hobbies. Now, this goes really hand in hand with the baking and cooking I was just talking about, because those can also be seen as hobbies. However, the specific hobbies that I'm going to be trying to focus on this year include ballet, sewing, and YouTube. This is something I've wanted to do for literally over 10 years. I am 24 years old, and I created my first YouTube channel and video when I was 14. It's something I've wanted to try for a long time, and so here I am in 2024. And number 10, finally, is discipline. I have found that in 2023, I really struggled with being disciplined. I would often pick up a new hobby, a new task, a new workout plan, and I wouldn't stick to it for longer than a week or two. I think that it is so important to build trust with yourself and to be disciplined. The more you stick to things, the more you learn to trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more you know that you can start new things in the future and actually stick to them. I believe that building trust with myself is crucial, and it's something I'm going to be implementing in 2024. So this year, I will be disciplined and do the things that I say I'm going to do. Now that we've talked about the 10 things that I will be bringing with me into 2024, let's talk about the few that I will be leaving behind. Number 1 is scrolling or excessive social media. I started this habit a little bit in 2023 and tried to be really intentional with it, but I found myself slipping out of those good habits by the end of the year. I found it really easy to still get into the bad habits of getting on my phone first thing in the morning and scrolling on TikTok. I found myself even using Pinterest to watch TikToks that people had posted on there. And this is not only a problem with TikTok. Of course, there's other social media apps that I have scrolled on endlessly. However, this year I'm going to be really intentional about not continuously scrolling when I'm bored and limiting my time on social media. The second habit that I am choosing to leave behind is laziness and procrastination. This one is obviously very related to discipline and building trust, like we just talked about in the habits that I will be taking with me into 2024. I have to build the discipline with myself. I have to build the trust with myself. I found that for me, it's really easy to make endless to-do lists and endless schedules and endless checklist of all these things that I want to do and try, but I never get around to it. And I think often the fear of failing is what keeps me from starting. But now that I'm working on building that trust and discipline with myself, I know that I'm gonna leave procrastination behind. Again, I'm building trust with myself. The third thing that I'm leaving behind is negativity and self-hatred. Don't you think that we should all be our own biggest fan and not our worst enemy? Why is it that we're often hardest on ourselves? This is something I want to work on in 2024 and something that I'm definitely leaving behind. I am who I am, and if I don't like something, I can work on improving it. There's no reason to be mean to myself about it. I also want to leave behind negativity. I don't want to be negative about things anymore. I want to keep a positive outlook. The fourth thing that I'm going to be leaving behind is going out to eat so much. Again, this goes into the cooking more side of it. I'm only going to go out to eat as something enjoyable, preferably something pre-planned, and something to enjoy my time with other people. There's no point, for myself at least, to go out to eat if it's not related to those different things. The last thing that I'm leaving behind this year is using my phone in bed. This kind of goes into the scrolling side of things, but sometimes I'll just scroll through my own camera roll if I have to. I'm no longer going to be scrolling on my phone or getting on my phone at all in bed. This excludes, of course, sending a quick text or setting my alarm for the morning. I haven't found much good has come out of being on my phone in bed. It often just makes me feel worse and more anxious when I'm going to sleep. This goes hand in hand with reading a little bit more at night. Instead of being on my phone before I sleep at night, I'm going to really focus on reading before I go to sleep. I actually tried this the past couple nights, and it's crazy what a difference it made me feel. So this has been the 10 habits I'm bringing with me in 2024 and the habits I'm leaving behind. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave comments down below about what habits you're taking with you into 2024 and which ones you're leaving behind. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. This year, I'll be making a ton more content like this, so put on notifications if you're interested in that. Lastly, I want to leave you with a verse that I think is perfect for starting out the year. It's Proverbs 3:5-6. The verse reads, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understandings. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight." I think this verse is perfect for 2024. we just rely on God, depend on Him, and ask Him for guidance, He's going to lead us in the way that we need to go. And for 2024, I think we can all agree that we need that guidance a little bit more. He will straighten your paths and take you exactly where you need to go. I pray that this year you will have all of your biggest hopes and dreams come true, and I hope that you stick to all the things that you set out to accomplish. I know you can do this, and you got this. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.